Have you ever felt stuck in life, unable to break free of old patterns? If you can relate and you're ready to break free, today's video is for you. Before I dive in, I want to offer you a free video training on how to reprogram your subconscious mind. You can grab it directly in the description box below and also on my website, heatherhakes.com. Earlier this week, I received a message from an individual who was sharing with me that he's been stuck in the same old patterns in relationships for a prolonged time. And that's where today's video comes from. What I want to help you do is create an identity shift to get unstuck in life. So where we're going to start is I want to help you understand how you got to where you're at today, but more importantly, if you're not happy, if you're not fulfilled, if you don't have the outcomes that you want in your health or finances or relationships, I'm going to help you break free and close the gap to get from where you are to where you want to be. So let's start at the top. Your identity, or as Dr. Joe Dispenza explains it, your personality, which is made up of three things: your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions create your personal reality. Let me say it again. Your personality creates your personal reality. And the reason why most people, in fact, 92% of people fail at New Year's resolutions, they're trying to create a new personal reality, new health, new finances, big, hairy, audacious goals, but they're not changing the identity. They're not changing their personality. So I want to help you break free from that and get the results you actually want in your life. I also want to tie in some ancient wisdom, which is a Hermetic Principle. It's the second one about correspondence. And it simply explains as within, so without. So what I want you to understand is life is a mirror. Your external reality, the circumstances, the outcomes in your life are a direct reflection of your internal state of being. As a prime example, the money in your bank account is a direct reflection of your money mindset, of your money consciousness. So what we're taught to do is go out and struggle and effort and try harder and work multiple jobs, or struggle and effort and then we'll get ahead. And that's just not how it works. What you have to do is change from the inside out. You have to remove limiting beliefs. You have to start thinking bigger. And when you change the three things that are creating your reality, your thoughts, emotions, and actions, that is how you increase your bank account. That is how you better your health, relationships, business, or whatever it is you're seeking change. And I want to give a prime example, what's coming to mind right now, about identity shifting. Jake Paul, love him or hate him, is a prime example of this. He was a YouTuber and the guy went viral. He's a marketing genius, but he very much had the identity of a YouTuber. And just a few years ago, he decided he wanted to become a boxer. Now, I want you to see that those are two very different identities, very different habits, different vision, but it's the same guy. How did he go from a YouTuber to a boxer? I watched his documentary on Netflix, and I loved this line that he shared, that when you have self-belief, when you do the hard work, and I would simply say that when you're taking aligned actions and when you're consistent, and that can be technically hard because it's self-discipline, but when you have self-belief, when you do the hard work, and this is what I loved, and you have a little bit of delusional optimism, that is how you become unstoppable. So that's what I want to share with you. I don't care where you're at in life. You can create quantum leaps because it's your personality that is creating your personality. And when you shift your identity, when you shift your daily habits, your thoughts, your emotions, you can create any change you want in your life. Now, let's get into the how-to of doing this. Now that you understand, we have to understand the baseline. Your identity is made up of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. That's literally it. And in order to get new outcomes, to get new results, you have to shift your identity. So as an example, let me give a personal one on how I did this. In 2017, when I quit my full-time 9-to-5, I was an employee. So I went from the identity of an employee to an entrepreneur, and it's night and day difference. And it was a huge identity shift. I had a lot of struggle, and that's where I say entrepreneurship is personal development on steroids. Let me explain how I shifted my identity to go from the struggle, the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome, and procrastination, and how I've stepped into being a mindset coach, creating the impact, influence, and income that I was seeking. So remember, I went from self-doubt, feeling like an imposter, and procrastinating. That was my identity. That's who I was being. So I literally got pen to paper and I wrote it all out, where I was feeling stuck, how I was feeling. And that's how I came up with my list: self-doubt, inconsistent, procrastinating, distracted. And then I got really clear, and this is what I want you to do. So step number 1 to create this change and get unstuck and create the identity shift is awareness. I want you to write pen to paper. What are your daily thoughts that aren't serving you? What emotional states aren't serving you? Like being bored, in fear, worry, doubt, frustration, impatience, and overwhelm. And then get really clear on the habits that aren't serving you. Like for me, it was procrastinating. It was distraction. It was scrolling on social media. My go-tos, my vices were shopping and travel. Those were my distractions because I was also afraid of failure. And guess what? You can't fail if you're not taking action. So I got really clear on who I'd been, and I want you to do this. So seriously, pause this right now. Come up with your list. What thoughts, emotions, and actions aren't serving you and getting you the results that you want? Now that you have awareness on where you are, remember, we want to create an identity of who you want to be, and then I want to help you close this gap. In order to get clear on the identity of who you do want to be, it's nearly the opposite of everything you are being. So let's say you're unmotivated. Well, the new version of you, 2.0, is going to be motivated, disciplined, have confidence, follow through. You're going to have self-belief. You're going to have faith over doubt. You're going to feel empowered instead of overwhelmed. So I want you to get really clear. Version 2.0 of you, what does that look like? Who would you have to be? Now, here's what I want to offer you. If this is something new to you and you want to fast track your success, I offer one-on-one coaching. I'm going to include a link below, but I invite you to schedule a free call and learn more by visiting my website, heatherhakes.com. So now that you are creating clarity and deciding on this new identity, who would you have to be? What do you want to have? What do you want to experience? So I would imagine you want to be healthy and energized. You want financial freedom and abundance. You want a loving, thriving relationship. You want to step up in your business or your career. Who do you want to be? And what do you want to have, be, do, or experience? All right, so we have the first 2 steps in play. You have become aware on who you've been. Now we've created clarity and forward focus on and a vision, who you want to be and what you want to have and experience. Now the third step is about aligning this new identity, and that is how you will close the gap. So let me walk you through some daily practices you can use to do this. Just as I shared earlier about Jake Paul's quote about having a little bit of delusional optimism, this is not about fake it until you make it, but I do want you to, you have to embody it until you experience. You have to embody confidence. You have to embody belief. And how do you create confidence and belief? I like to use the ABCs. Action builds confidence. Now for me, sitting in self-doubt, procrastination, and imposter syndrome, how would I break free of that? I got really clear on my why, who I wanted to be, and then I just started being really consistent. I started creating daily content. And by doing that, I broke free of procrastination because I got disciplined in creating daily consistent content. I removed the self-doubt and imposter syndrome and created belief because I was taking action. And then slowly but surely, I started to get breadcrumbs. I started to get DMs. Your content is inspiring and empowering and motivating me. And it was those little things that kept me going. And you will experience this too, but you have to be consistent and you have to align your new identity by showing up every single day with new thoughts, new emotions, and new actions. Because remember, it is your personality, your identity that is creating your personal reality. So in order to change the outcomes in any area of life, you have to show up every single day, literally building this new version of yourself and the old version of you will fall away. The one full of fear and doubt and worry and being unmotivated and undisciplined, that will fall away because you've literally built a new identity, a new version of you. Now, here are some common pitfalls. You are human. You're going to have off days, but I don't want you to fall off track one day and then all of a sudden it becomes a week, a month, and now you fell back into old patterns. Give yourself grace. I do this for myself too. I allow myself to have off days or off moments, but I'm so clear on the why, and I know what I want, and I know the actions I have to do, which is embodying that new identity, that best version of me. And when I show up every single day and I get through the resistance, the doubt, the fear, the not feeling like it just becomes your new norm. So if you fall off track, give yourself grace, but keep going, keep showing up and being consistent, and you will just create this new identity. All right, let's recap today's video. I want you to know that when you put this into play, when you understand the Hermetic Principle of Correspondence, as within, so without, that life is a mirror. When you shift the inside, everything in your life changes for the better. You'll start being energized. You'll have confidence. You'll exude new energy. And by exuding this new energy, this is when law of vibration comes into play. Like attracts like. New people, experiences, opportunities will come your way when you are showing up as the best version of you. If you have any questions or comments or even epiphanies on Ha, drop them below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Again, if you are seeking change and you want the fastest, easiest way to get there, I'd love to help you in your journey. You can learn more about my one-on-one coaching, which is what I call 60 Days to Radical Change, and schedule a free call by visiting heatherhakes.com. And on a last final note, I want to remind you that you are capable of living an extraordinary life and that you can have, be, and do anything you dream of when you start showing up differently. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you're the first to know when new videos drop. And give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you on the next one.